Young Jamie, Pride of All the Plain by Robert Burns. James Stewart was turfed from the throne in infancy in 1688 by the anti-Catholic glorious revolution of William and Mary. Dowie means mournful. I wha say late, I who so late. The pangs I dree, the pangs I endure. So here we go. I'll tell you more about it. You won't have heard this before. Young Jamie, pride of all the plain, say gallant and say gay a swain, through our losses he did rove and reign resistless, king of love. But now he sighs and starts in tears, he strays among the woods and breers, or in the glens and rocky caves, his sad complainings dowie raves. I was late, did range and rove, and changed with every moon, my love. I little thought the time was near, repentance I should by say dear. The slighted maids my torments see, and laugh at all the pangs I dree, while she my cruel scornfu fair forbids me aught to see her mair. Young Jamie, Pride of All the Plain. James Kinsley exiled the song from the Burns canon. He did not print it in his huge 1968 Oxford edition. And here is what he wrote. Scots Musical Museum, 1796, number 420. 2 stanzas unsigned, Hastie manuscript. Now the Hastie manuscript is in Burns's handwriting, the songs he submitted to the museum. This was submitted with the title, The Carlin of the Glen, which is the name of the tune in Flores Musicae, a book from John Clark in 1773, which Burns owned. So there's a clue that it's by Burns. And the fact that we have it. Why was it unsigned? Burns was working for the excise, for the British Crown. He was careful not to put himself in the position of losing his job and letting his children starve. That's why it was unsigned. But Kinsley seems to have missed the clue that it's a coded Jacobite piece. He says, described by Stenhouse as, quote, another unclaimed production of Burns, unquote, apparently on the evidence of the Hastie manuscript. Now, Stenhouse wrote about all 600 songs in the museum, commentary in 1820 he wrote. And he made up a lot of stuff, and so he's generally scoffed at by his later editors. However, he is not reliably unreliable. Sometimes Stenhouse is right. So you should be suspicious of him, and you should also be suspicious of people who are globally suspicious of him, because they have made mistakes on that basis before. But Johnson, his publisher, was anxious to mark as many as possible of the songs in this volume of Scots Musical Museum Written for this work by Robert Burns, unless they were recognizably real visions of old words and no original for it, this song has been recovered. It's an absurd remark. The Hastie manuscript is the original, and it was unsigned because it's a coded Jacobite piece, which Kinsley seems to have missed the clue. But Murray Pittock, fortunately in 2018, in his Oxford edition of, it was a facsimile edition of the Scots Musical Museum with a book of notes and commentary, and he said this is a coded Jacobite piece, and he brought it back into consideration, for which he deserves credit. I'll read you a bit more about the old pretender, James. He was the father of Charles, Bonnie Prince Charlie, the young pretender of 1745. James Stewart was cousin to Louis XIV of France, who supported him in 715 and recognized as King of England, Scotland, and Ireland by the Popes Clement XI and Innocent XIII, who offered James the Palazzo del Re in Rome as his residence. James was provided a life annuity and organized a Jacobite court at Rome. The papacy did not recognize the Orange Hanover line until Stuart's death. Although he lived in splendor, James suffered from depressive fits until his death. His sad complainings, I refer to those. Dowie raves. Young Jamie's the exiled king of love. Dowie. Dowie is mournful like a dove. Dow is a dove. The pangs I dree, the pangs I endure. While she, my cruel scornfu fair, forbids me e'er to see her mair, see her more. This is standard Burns. He loves to concentrate his linguistic effects, as any poet knows anything of his trade will save his best thoughts for a concluding stroke, he wrote. Listen to the F's here. While she, my cruel scornfu fair, forbids me e'er to see her mair. And you've got three rhymes, a triple rhyme, fair, air, and mair. Clearly a Burns song. It will be in my book of Burns songs. I hope you enjoyed it. It's quite a remarkable melody, I think. It starts in the minor, but when it goes low, it goes into the major there. Very interesting tune. If you're a songwriter or melodist, something to steal. Be well.